Addams in the AM, brought to you by Zoe, Nick, Jacob, Micaiah, and Star.
Good morning, Addams! Today is Friday, March 30th. There are only 48 more days until summer vacation. Today's weather will be rainy with a high of 42 degrees and a low of 35 degrees. Today we have students from Mrs. Pendergrass's class to lead us in the pledge. Their names are
Marquise.
Valencia. Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Choice 1 for lunch today is pepperoni pizza. Choice 2 will be fish sandwich or whole grain bun. The hot veggie of the day is green beans. We're not sure what the breakfast choice for Monday will be until we get the April menu.
We would like to say happy belated birthday to Michael and Mrs. Patrick's first grade class. Michael's birthday was on Wednesday. We're sorry we missed it, Michael, but we hope you had a great day.
Happy birthday! Students, if you are participating in Jump Rope for Heart, your donation money is due today. Remember, Jump Rope for Heart is a great cause, but it's only about keeping your heart healthy too. Jumping rope is a great way to keep your heart strong and healthy, and it's a lot of fun too. While you're outside for recess, why don't you give it a try today?
Kindergartners in Mrs. McCarthy's class sure love nature. In this picture, we see Jason holding up a giant beehive. Mrs. McCarthy found this beehive in the woods up north and brought it in for her kindergartners to explore. But don't worry, folks, no students or bees were harmed during this lesson.
Yikes, I hope not. Students, Addams in the AM will be taking a break next week. We will be on the air one more show on Monday morning, but then we will be off the air until we come back from spring break. But don't worry, we will still be announcing the lunch choices and doing the pledge over the loudspeaker.
On Wednesday, brainstormers came back to our school to perform stories by some very talented authors here at Jane Addams. The whole gym was filled with students waiting to see whose stories would be performed. 5th grader Jacqueline from Mrs. Pendergrass's class and her story about a cowgirl, a zebra, and a lion was hilarious. The brainstormers called on 4th grader Joshua from Mrs. Frenzel's class to help out and play the part of the zebra.
The next story they performed was written by 1st grader Anaya in Mrs. Patrick's class. Her story about 3 fairy tale friends skydiving was great. To help the brainstormers out, kindergartner Angel from Mrs. McCarthy's class played the role of Sleeping Beauty. Next, 4th grader Julia in Mrs. Frenzel's class sat in the author's chair as brainstormers performed her story about Bob the Bunny and Captain Fuzzy. This story was certainly a hit with the crowd.
2nd grader Ian from Mrs. Koenig's class had his story performed next. Ian wrote a very suspenseful story about what happened to the blueberry pancake chef when a blueberry pancake chef runs out of blueberries. The brainstormers had to call on 2 Jane Addams 5th graders to act this one out. Sammy from Mrs. Pendergrass's class played the part of the hungry customer waiting for his pancakes. My classmate Austin from Mr. Bazovi's class played the chef sidekick Snowman, who had to help the hungry customer from turning into an angry customer.
And last but not least, Kevin from Mrs. Boffman and Negelhouse 3rd grade class had his story about astronauts attacked by aliens performed. The brainstormers called on 4th grader Tabitha from Mrs. Pinno's class to play the astronaut. They also called on John from Mrs. Peck's class to play the good alien who saves the day. Me.
Great job to all of our authors and actors. I'm sure Hollywood will be calling Jane Addams for your names soon. And speaking of Hollywood, our song request list is full. Everybody, Addams in the AM has collected more song requests from students than there are days left in the school year. The box outside Mrs. Clark's office has been removed and we will no longer be able to take any more requests from you. Thank you very much to all the students who participated. We loved hearing your favorite songs every day.
As Zoe said, our list is so full of songs you want to hear that we don't need any more. We will be keeping down our song list until the last day of school, so sit back and wait to hear yours played. Remember, if we decided your song was not school appropriate, we will not be playing it. Also, if you requested more than one song, we may not be able to get all of them. So let's look at what song we will be playing today.
Today's request comes from Carrington and Mrs. Buffin in their God's 3rd grade class. Carrington has requested Do It Like You by Diggy. Good choice, Carrington. That's all for today, Jane Addams. Happy Friday, and remember to be
Respectful,
responsible,
And safe.
meet.